Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing an e.l.f. haul and try on. I went on the e.l.f. website about a week ago when their Putty bronzers launched, so I picked up 3 shades of those, their new brightening concealer, I have their new Big Mood mascara, and a couple of other things that caught my eye on the website, so I figured I would put them on my face and we would chat our way through. If you enjoy e.l.f. videos, I will have a playlist down below. I've covered all kinds of stuff from e.l.f. They have great, affordable, cruelty-free products that are available at Shoppers Drug Mart now in Canada, which is exciting. As always, when you're shopping on the e.l.f. website, be sure to use Ebates because you can get cash back. You can use Honey as well, or you can't use them both at the same time. Generally, you can use Honey, which is another great website to get deals. And they also have, if you join and sign up for their website, a beauty squad in which you get points so that you can get rewards and things like that. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I picked up is their Jelly Pop Dew Primer. I remember when this collection launched and I didn't jump on it because I have no idea. I have no excuse. But I didn't. But now I am. So let's put this on. Should have waited to put my rings on after. It feels like those kind of jelly/gel primers that came out that are a little bit thicker, that are meant to kind of like lock things in place. Has a really nice texture. I also, however, though, picked up their Putty Primer brush, so I'm going to use their matte Putty Primer just on the center of my face. They say that this is like, it smells really good. Yeah, it's got watermelon in it and you can smell it, niacinamide, which I love. And it says it works like glue to grip makeup and ensure it stays put. It's got skin-loving ingredients like hyaluronic acid and a powerful blend of antioxidants. So it feels really good. I think part of the reason I didn't pick it up too was because I thought it was like a limited edition collection. I didn't realize it was going to stick around. So I picked up this brush because I was like, I'm curious. This is the Putty Primer Applicator brush. So it's a dual-ended tool that you're meant to use with all of the Putty primers, and it comes with a spatula on one end and then the little brush on top. And even if this isn't necessarily good for the Putty primers, this is just a cute little good brush. So this is something I picked up a little while back. It's their matte Putty Primer. They just came out with another one, but I actually don't know. Let's see. I don't see myself really using the spatula part to put it on my face, but I will try, although this isn't exactly how they recommend it, I will try the brush. And I'm just going to pat this in the areas where I need it because I want to have the dewy effect of the other primer, but the center of my face, it's not even that it gets oily, it's so humid, there's so many thunderstorms, it's just sweaty face. So I'm just going to put this on the center. And I like it actually applied better with a brush. I don't think you necessarily need that brush to go with it, but I like a brush with a Putty Primer. I think I'm realizing it helps you kind of buff it out and distribute it better. Just going to pop on, keeping with the e.l.f. theme, the Flawless Finish Foundation. I love this foundation. I think it's phenomenal. Comes in 40 shades now, which is amazing. It wears so good. I'm wearing the shade Honey. They did, I was going to say rearrange. They did, I don't know if they reformulated, but they changed their shade. So keep that in mind if you bought it like 2 or 3 years ago and you want to buy your shade again. But Honey is a really good shade for me, or at least it was like in the winter kind of. It's a good neutral, and this is the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. Really good. I love e.l.f.'s brushes. I think they make some of the best. No matter the price point, I think their brushes are amazing and they've got a good selection of them. I have a video on my favorite e.l.f. brushes, which I will link back below. Maybe I should do an updated one of those, but I love this one. Their sponge is good too, actually. They're kind of pink sponge. I like that. It's really spongy. It's really big. It does like soak up a little product, but it's a great soft beauty blender alternative. Put on about a pump. I'm going to put a little more. And I have a full review of this foundation, so I will link it down below if you want to see how it wears, but really good. Definitely kind of an underrated product. That primer, by the way, was $13 Canadian. Then up next, when you go on the e.l.f. website, by the way, when you're Canadian, they've got 2 different sites now where they list Canadian prices. So next I have the Flawless Brightening Concealer. This is newer to them. I picked up 3 different shades and I'm actually really glad that I did because the shades that I got, I don't know if I just picked really bad. They had swatches on their website, which I thought looked good, but it kind of looks like I got 2 shades that were correctors. and then a shade that's a concealer that's going to be probably too light. So didn't work out great. It's got hyaluronic acid and vitamin C in there, but I will show you swatches. So here are the 3 shades that I picked up. The lightest shade at the top is medium 36W. Then the next one down is tan 41W. Then the next one is tan 45N. So these are both warm shades. This one is supposed to be a neutral. I wouldn't say that feels accurate, at least swatched on my skin tone, but I'm going to use this deeper one actually as almost a corrector and then go on top of this with brightening. That's how I'm going to approach it. So I'm going to use the darkest shade, tan 45N, as almost like a color corrector because it doesn't feel that N to me, it feels more W and warm with a little peachy orange. But this does come in quite a few shades. I worry that the deeper shades are all kind of more on the orange side than being a brightening concealer. But I guess it could be kind of brightening in the sense that it'll cover up dark circles if it's got color correcting, but that doesn't seem to be what they're getting at. So that's step 1. Then I'm going to put on the what I feel to be is the brightest shade, medium 36W. And I'm just going to put it, so I've let that sit under my eyes a little bit. I'm just going to tap it out with my fingers because I want to make sure I'm getting a lot of as much coverage as possible. I feel like this is a pretty light coverage product. It's kind of what you expect it to be in that sort of packaging. Probably a little more coverage than like a YSL Touche Claw, but it's not going to be like, you know, one of their concealers that's sort of like trying to be a Shape Tape or whatnot. I feel like this is a pretty light medium coverage. So if you're looking for true brightening, you may need to put something else underneath it or use it kind of like how I did, but I definitely don't feel like I'm getting even medium coverage out of this. But that's not a bad thing. I can see myself wearing this with tinted moisturizers. So then I had absolutely no choice but to pick up 3 shades of the Putty bronzer. This was the initial reason for picking it up. It's a little bit smaller than what I thought it was going to be, but I actually don't mind it because this is the type of product that I'll never actually finish. So this is $8 Canadian. The concealer was $5 Canadian, and it comes in 8 different shades. I picked up 3. The shade range actually looks really, really good. It looks like there's a very fair shade, there's a very deep shade, and there seems to be a nice balance of shades in between, which, like, wow, I love that. It says it has a semi-matte finish and it's kind of putty to powder. Argan oil and vitamin E. It has a really thin texture. And like I said, I picked up 3 of the shades. So the top shade that you see right here, it's pretty close to my skin tone. It's in the shade Tan Lines. The next shade down is Honey Drip. And then the next shade down from there is Golden Days. So Honey Drip, Golden Days are kind of somewhere where I'll end up. Okay, I'm going to take the deepest shade that I mentioned, Golden Days, and I'm taking it on this brush, which is actually from e.l.f. 2, and I love. It is the 105 from their Clear collection. And I've used it for products like this before, and I feel like it just does a great job. It's kind of like their small stipple brush, but better. And it's a little bit more expensive for it, but really nice. I think it's $12, and it just does a good job. You can kind of stipple the bronzer into your skin. You can blend it. It also depends what foundation you're putting it on top of. If it's the type of foundation that might tend to move or is super matte, you may need to take these things into consideration. I'm going to blend it, just put it on my chin. It feels really easy to work with. It definitely is buildable. You don't need to be too afraid of color. Kind of went a little bit harder on that side, and let's see. I think that works better for leaving the pigmentation there where it's such a thin texture. Also, I can tell you how many times people tell me I'm being aggressive with my own face. Every day. I guess I am, but I'm not like leaving with a black eye, so it's just how I roll, baby. I like this. I think this is a good, like, if you are a little bit intimidated by cream products, this is probably a good start. That being said, it does have argan oil and vitamin E in there, so there are hydrating properties. So you can't just build this up to no end. It will, it probably could get cakey if you put too much on, but it feels very buildable. doesn't feel like I'm in danger of doing that right now, and I like this color a lot. So here's the bronzer completed. I added a little bit more of another concealer because I felt like that e.l.f. one wasn't giving me enough coverage. That one I'm going to probably use on lighter makeup days, and this is kind of getting a little bit more heavy / glam. So I also picked up the Putty blushes, and you'll be so proud of me. Look at these two shades. Not a peach in sight. So firstly, they also started putting, not firstly, we're like 10 minutes into the video probably. They started putting the stuff on the sides instead of on the bottom, which confused me. Oh, and now, yeah, now they don't have the name on it. So on the bronzer, it says it here, Golden Days. But on the blush, distributed by, oh, it does, but barely. Tiny. Bally. But anyways, I wanted to pick up shades that I thought looked different, what I normally buy. These are definitely a little darker than I thought they were going to be, but I think because they're the putty texture, they're going to not have as much pigmentation, but at the same time, I'm happy to see this level of pigmentation because it'll be great for deeper skin. These are beautiful. Okay, so Bali, that looked like more kind of brown, like a reddy brown, is really pretty. It's super natural. And then and then that shade there, which is the Caribbean, has not a lot of brightness in it, which is very beautiful. So to use with that, I also picked up the Putty blush brush, which looks similar to their small stipple, a little more dense. It's pinched. This looks like would be good for cream bronzer too, but I like that the other one is a little bit thicker for cream bronzer. I'm going to take this more brown shade, Bali. I was a little intimidated by these e.l.f. putty products, but these are less putty than I feel like I expected. They're really like thin creams, which make them easy to work with, but I was often using my fingers with some of these putty products, which that's where they differ from cream, I think, is they really lend themselves well to a nice stipple brush product. Because that's very pretty. And it looks so different on my cheeks. That's why it's always good to get out of your comfort zone. If you want to experiment with colors and things like that, e.l.f. is a great way to do it because it is a little bit more affordable. It's more affordable than a lot of drugstore brands, at least in Canada. So I paid no customs, but I did pay expedited shipping, which was $20 to get it here more quickly, which is something I wouldn't do as like a consumer normally, but as Samantha Jane, who wanted to tell you about the bronzers as they launched, she had to purchase them. Before I get into setting my face, I forgot this is actually a haul. I picked up 2 items that I won't be using today, but this is the Hello Hydration Makeup Melting Cleansing Balm, which I didn't realize was a mini. Whoops. But I will test it out and report back. I've loved everything I've tried from this line. And then I also picked up another moisturizer from them. I wanted to get the one that has SPF 30. I also want to review their CC cream, but they won't ship it to Canada because of SPF. So I'm working on getting it, but I wanted to buy the one that has SPF in that. Also couldn't buy it. But I got this one because it's fragrance free. So I want to test this out. I definitely want to do a video on my favorite fragrance free moisturizers. And I don't know if they changed the packaging, but this feels and looks really high end and beautiful. So we'll see on these. Then I picked up 2 of these Monochromatic Multisticks. These have been on their site for a while. This one is in the shade Glowing Mango. I thought that they would either act as nice highlighters, nice blushes. Ooh, that's beautiful and warm. That one has no shimmer, or sorry, it has shimmer but no glitter. Really smooth. Okay, these are beautiful. These might be the win from the haul, honestly, because I feel like nobody talks about these, and these are going to look so good on deeper skin. So I have the shade Glowing Mango and Bronzed Cherry. Look at those. So metallic, so smooth. Ooh. I'm going to try drawing the mango one right on. It reminds me of the color in the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow warm or like medium dark palette. There's a highlighter that has this beautiful orangeness to it that's just so warm on the skin, and that's what this really reminds me of. I'm gonna use just that primer brush, I think, to stipple it. Wow, that's beautiful. That's a good find. How much did those cost? These were $6 Canadian, which I'm pretty sure if you're American they'll probably be like $2 or $3. But very beautiful. So I can't remember if I picked up this Halo setting powder with the intention of using it under my eyes or on my face, but it came in and I got the shade medium, and it definitely, if you can see, looks quite light. So I'm going to try it under my eyes. It has more beigey undertones than yellow, which I normally go with under my eyes, but this could be nice. I'm going to have to test this out a little bit more. But so far it seems really nice and smooth. I wish I got the shade that I could set my face with. I'll have to pick that up next time. I didn't pick this up during the haul, but I picked it up at Shoppers actually a little while ago, and I honestly haven't used it that much, so I can't really say how I fully feel about it. But this is the Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist from e.l.f. As if we're not in the middle of an e.l.f. haul, but beautiful fine mist. We'll have to report back on how I feel about lasting power, but I have high hopes for it. At least it looks like it's going to do what it says it's going to do. I love the packaging. I think it looks sharp. The only thing I didn't buy in this haul that's actually new from them is the Big Mood Mascara, and I was going to buy it, but I knew they were already sending it to me because I'm collaborating with them for a post about this, and it's so fabulous. So I figured I would include it because I would have purchased it otherwise. I'm always curious. I feel like the past two e.l.f. mascaras have been amazing. So this one and whatever was in that rose gold tube, so good. This has got a nice curved brush on it. It's the Big Mood Mascara, and I wore this on Instagram stories yesterday, and I was talking about mental health. But a couple people chimed in, they were like, totally agree. Thank you for sharing vulnerability, but also what mascara are you wearing? And this was it. It's so good. This might be my favorite, I think. Still have the other one, but this one's really doing it for me. So there is one eye. You can see tons of volume, tons of length. I don't have issues with transferring or smudging. Really good. This Big Mood mascara, I was actually writing an Instagram caption for this post, and I was trying to think to myself, how can I connect this mascara to mood rings? And I was trying to come up with this cute caption. It didn't end up happening. But I was thinking about mood rings and how fun they were. So I'm incredibly impressed with these products. I actually have not put on any powder bronzer, powder blush, or powder highlight, and I think you can see it's showing through really nicely. I could have even gone a little bit more intensely with those products. I'm going to keep testing them out, but so far so good. I think the standout for me though, shocker, is this, the e.l.f. Multichromatic Multistick. Why do I keep calling it multichromatic? Monochromatic Multistick in the shade Glowing Mango. Beautiful. But so far impressed with the putty bronzers, impressed with the putty blush, more than I expected to be, if I'm being completely transparent with you. Gonna need to keep testing out the brightening concealer to see how it works with some lighter product. Jelly primer feels good. I like both of the brushes, even if the primer brush won't necessarily be used for primer, but I'm definitely gonna start doing that because I feel like that's the best way to approach putty products. So yeah, so far so good, but let me know down below what your favorites are from e.l.f. and have you tried out any of these products. And as always, if you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!